Today's life simulation. The entire life of a Japanese oiran, Edo's most legendary, most trapped courtesans. 1702, Edo, Japan. You are 8 years old. Act 1, sold age 8. You hunch over a stone shore behind your father's fish stall, scraping fish guts in freezing water that stings your raw, chapped hands. Your sleeves reek of mackerel and grease. Just minutes ago you spilled vinegar on a customer. Your father screamed at you until your ears rang. Fireflies buzz in the alley. The air thick with old smoke and rot. You smell like fish and scraps. You don't feel like a person. No one has ever really looked at you. No one has ever cared. Until today. 2 women appear. They don't belong here. Their silk robes glow like iridescent koi scales. Their hair is lacquered stiff as armor, pulled into perfect, towering shapes. Their faces are powdered pale as porcelain dolls. One kneels in front of you. She tilts your chin up, inspects your teeth like your fruit at a market. She turns your hands over, checks your nails, your wrists, the shape of your ears. You hold yourself as still as you can, but you flinch anyway. She smiles. The other woman hands your father a heavy cloth pouch. Coins clink dull and final when it lands in his palm. He won't meet your eyes. He doesn't say a word. Not even when you call his name. That's when you understand. You are being sold. By sunset, you stand inside the vermilion gates of Yoshiwara, Edo's walled pleasure district. Lanterns bleed gold down the streets. Silk and laughter wrap around you. The air smells of expensive jasmine perfume. This place locks the whole world out after dark. And no one inside ever leaves. It has its own rules, its own rhythm, its own quiet cruelty. You've never seen so many people all pretending to be happy at once. They tell you your old name is gone forever. You are a Kamuro now, a servant girl in the most prestigious oiran house. You were not brought here to be raised. You were brought here to be carved into something new. You pour tea, fold kimonos, vanish into the shadows like an unwanted stray cat. You sleep on the floor at the foot of the senior oiran's futon. You wake when she wakes. You bow when she moves. You anticipate her every need before she speaks. When you are perfect, you are invisible. When you mess up, you are a burden. Your mistress is a Taiyu, the highest rank of oiran, a living legend. She is not just a courtesan. She is a cultural icon. She writes elegant waka poetry off the top of her head. She masters a dozen traditional instruments. She wears robes so heavy and layered she needs 2 attendants just to help her walk through doorways. When she enters a room, men bow low. Women stop and stare. She glides across the floor like she's walking on air. You fear her. But you watch every single move she makes. The soft angle of her downward gaze. The way she holds her folding fan. That faint, empty smile that never, ever reaches her eyes. You memorize every habit. You crave to be her. And you are terrified of what it will cost you. Act 2, forged age 13. At 13 you are promoted to Shinzo, an oiran apprentice. The real, brutal training begins. Tea ceremony. Inkwash painting. Formal etiquette. Traditional dance. String instruments. You learn all of it. You practice the shamisen until your fingertips split, blister and bleed through the strings. You memorize classic Chinese texts and ancient Japanese tales until you can recite them in your sleep. You learn to walk so softly the wooden floorboards never creak. You learn to kneel perfectly still for hours on end, no fidgeting, no shifting your weight. You learn to bow so gracefully it looks like wind brushing the surface of water. You never laugh out loud. You smile without showing a single tooth. You speak in the soft, high lilting tone only Yoshiwara women use. Every movement is polished. Every gesture is planned. Every part of you is sealed shut behind a mask of perfect beauty. Act 3, debut age 16. When you turn 16, the house mother wakes you long before dawn. Your oiran dochu, your debut parade through the streets of Yoshiwara, is today. 2 attendants dress you in a full formal kimono. The fabric is so heavy and layered it feels like it will crush your spine. The wide sleeves trail on the floor like a silk waterfall. Your obi sash is tied in a massive knot in the front. A bright, unmissable sign that you are for sale. Your hair is piled into an elaborate, gravity-defying style, pinned with dozens of gold kanzashi hairpins and tortoiseshell combs. Just the weight of your hair gives you a splitting headache. No one cares. Your feet are strapped into 6-inch tall wooden geta clogs. You've practiced for months, but every step still feels like torture. You walk slow, steady, timeless. Crowds pack both sides of the street, staring like you're a ghost come to life. Women envy you. Men crave you. Under all the silk and gold and paint, you feel absolutely nothing. And in that exact moment you wake up fully. You're not a girl anymore. You are a product. Polished, priced, waiting for the highest bidder. The parade ends. The real ceremony begins. Your mizuage, your first night, is auctioned off to the man who pays the most. The man who buys you is older than your father. His hands shake as he signs the contract. He never speaks to you, not once. He just stares like he's just won a rare, priceless treasure. That night you do exactly what you are told. You lie perfectly still. Eyes open. Mouth closed. You feel nothing. You locked all your feelings away the day your father traded you for coins. So this night is not the darkest of your life. Not yet. The next morning you bathe, reapply your white makeup and go straight back to your lessons. Because from today on you are a full tayo. A real oiran. The real performance is just beginning. Act 4, Peak, age 20s. Your fame spreads like wildfire across all of Edo. You walk in night parades in your finest robes and towering clogs. Common people wait for hours in the street just to catch a single glimpse of you. You host banquets for wealthy merchants and noblemen. They shower you with priceless gifts. They write flowery poems about your eyes, the way you walk. One man sends you a bonsai tree, pruned and shaped to look exactly like you. Another offers you entire estates and farmland. One even cuts off his own pinky finger to prove his undying devotion. You keep the bonsai. You burn everything else. At banquets, you glide behind silk folding screens. You sip sake only when it benefits you. You smile only when there is something to gain. You listen to men ramble about politics, business, their families, and act like every single word is a revelation. You praise their poetry, their swordsmanship, their expensive perfume. You let their fingers brush yours only when the moment is perfectly calculated. But here is the secret no one tells you: you have power here. Unlike lower-ranking courtesans, you can say no. If a man bores you, disgusts you, repulses you, you can turn him away politely. Most men can't bear the shame of being rejected by a tayo. For a few years you are untouchable. Your schedule is booked weeks in advance. Your name is synonymous with elegance, luxury, perfection. But the quiet rot of decline sets in before you even notice it. The younger Shinzo apprentices are fresher, softer, hungrier to please. They laugh louder. They bow lower. They are new. Slowly you stop seeing your name on the guest list. No one admires your hand-painted folding fans anymore. That's when the absurd, dangerous thought creeps into your head. Freedom. But freedom in Yoshiwara has a price tag. A very big one. Every meal you've ever eaten. Every kimono you've ever worn. Every music lesson, every dance class. Every pair of clogs. Every single hairpin. It all adds up. To debt. Massive, endless debt. Years of working, performing, surviving, and you haven't even paid off the cost of your own shoes. Some tie marry wealthy patrons who buy out their contracts and set them free. Most just fade away. They become brothel madams or dance teachers, or they vanish into quiet, forgotten back rooms alone. You choose to keep performing. You've mastered your craft. You know exactly what every man wants to see. You smile a little longer. Soften your gaze a little more. You pour tea for men who can barely find their way around the pleasure district. Sometimes a young client looks at you with not lust, but pity. For one split second you almost let your mask slip. But when he leaves you put it right back on. Tighter than before. Act 5. Forgotten, Meiji Restoration/late life. Years later, the Meiji Restoration crashes into Edo like a cannonball. Japan throws open its doors to the West. The samurai class vanishes overnight. Christianity spreads. Geisha take over as the new face of Japanese beauty and entertainment. Simpler, more modern, more approachable. Slowly the whole world forgets what an oiran even was. Tourists mix up the names. They point at old paintings of you and call you a geisha. You say nothing. You were trained your whole life to hold your tongue. Eventually your name is erased from the official house registers. Your kimonos are packed away in dusty trunks. Your gold hair ornaments are tucked into the bottom of dark boxes. The world does not remember you. Only the faint glow of paper lanterns, the low hum of shamisen strings, that steady, painted smile you wore through every pain, those are the only things that carry your trace. You were never just a pretty face. You were never just a trained courtesan. You were a product, crafted with perfect care and cold, precise calculation. You were the most expensive illusion Japan ever created.